I could not stop staring at his stinking dimples. I'm like, I just want to keep making him smile so I can look at him.
I've got it my whole life, and I've even threatened to take them out because they're just a nuisance, I think.
They are not.
I'm not the greatest in front of a camera.
Hopefully having some kids, I hope they have his dimples.
Biggest pet peeve is she puts all her food down the garbage disposal.
That's what it's for. He is the biggest germaphobe I've ever met in my life. And that is saying something coming from the medical field. I don't know, the pastor might as well just take out the whole in sickness and in health because he has nothing to do with me when I am ill. Cam and I's first meeting, I will never forget.
First meeting was a little nerve-wracking and embarrassing.
I was just finishing up grad school and I wanted to go out because I finally had a free Saturday night. So I texted one of my friends, Mallory, and she's like, my high school alumni get-together is tonight in Crete, Nebraska, so you should come hang out. And I was like, I've never been to Crete ever in my whole life, but I literally have nothing else to do.
Me and Jared Reitz were sitting there at the bar, typical, and she walks in with this huge smile on her face and just strutting her stuff.
I walk into this bar and everybody's just staring at me because I'm literally the only person that's not from this small town.
I asked him, do you know her? And he goes, no. Do you know her? And I go, no. And I go, I'd like to. And he pretty much said, hold my beer, and it went straight over to you.
He was intoxicated.
I think everyone was, but then...
Except for me.
Yeah.
This very intoxicated man comes up and starts talking to me about his friend that he wants me to meet.
All my buddies, the whole bar, started chiming in, saying go talk to her and buy her beer.
And I look over and it's Cam, and he's like humiliated. He's so embarrassed. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I kind of looked at him and he smiled, and that's when I saw his dimples. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I will totally talk to this guy.
Once we did finally meet after all of them bombarded us, I apologized to her, and I was trying to be super nice, but also trying to be a cool cat a little bit. So I bought her a couple drinks, sat by her, finally got the courage to, asked her for her number.
But he just seems super, super sweet, so easy to talk to, so.
Hey, everything's right, say everything's right tonight. Hey, everything's right, say everything's right tonight.
What I'd really like to talk about is a second date.
I could talk about the first date or the second, I don't care, but I know she talked about the second date.
Prior to the second date, I had texted my friend who went to high school with Cam because the first date went really well and I thought I liked him. And so I was like, hey, so tell me about this guy. Like, is anything wrong with him? Because he seems really awesome. And she's like, I don't know, let me check with my sister because she knew him a little better in high school. I was like, okay. So she texts me back, she goes, well, my sister says that Cam does drugs, so she probably wouldn't recommend going out with him. And I was just heartbroken because I was so disappointed, and I'm like, okay, do I cancel this date that we already have planned or do I go on it? So I sat there and thought about it. I was like, no, it's not fair. Like, I don't know this guy. I'm gonna go. We had gone, ate sushi in the Haymarket, got ice cream. We were sitting in the rail yard eating our ice cream.
I was halfway through a bite through my ice cream cone. She pretty much said, okay, I have to ask you something.
So, do you do drugs?
I pretty much choked on my waffle cone and spit it out. And I go, excuse me?
No, why are you asking me that? I go, well, somebody just told me.
She wouldn't tell me who, and I know who now. I'm coming for you still. I couldn't believe what she'd asked me.
Well, I needed to know.
I had to get it straight that I did not do drugs in the past nor now.
He goes, but there is something I have to tell you. I go, what? He goes, I do have a butterfly tattoo on my lower back. And I'm just like, okay,
Forget
well,
about that.
I'm gonna call an Uber now.
And I go, yeah, I got one on my lower back. You want to see it? Really? Like, she believed me. I'm like, no. She had to lay it all out there, and that's what she did.
I don't know how we're sitting right here after that.
Hey, everything's right, say everything's right tonight. Hey, everything's right, say everything's right tonight.
It took him forever to kiss me. Oh my gosh. On all of our dates, he'd drive me home, walk me to the door, and give me a hug, which was great. Like, I love hugs, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this guy needs to make a move because I wasn't gonna be the first one to do it.
Okay, first couple dates, and she pretty much said, you only get a hug. I'm like,
I said that's the first.
I know.
I said that's
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it slow. We were driving back from a date, and I asked her if there's anything that she didn't like about me or she wanted up different.
And I was like, well, you haven't kissed me yet. He's like, well, I'm sorry, I was just trying to be respectful. Okay, well, I'm giving you permission to like not be so respectful. Like, freaking Mac on me. So then the next date he did.
And after the date, I walked her up, and she knew it was coming too, and I just pretty much grabbed her and smacked her on the lips.
Then he finally made his move and he kissed her and it was great.
Ooh, everything's right.
So I don't think there was really like an aha moment when I knew that Cam was the one. I remember thinking after our first few dates, like, this guy is the real deal. Like, he has an awesome career, he's hardworking, he's so good looking, and he's most importantly super genuine. Do you remember the first time he told me he loved me? I was just like, oh gosh. And I thought about it after he left. I was like, dang, I feel the same way. I was like, I love this guy. Like, this is my forever man.
I started realizing it when my family would always talk about her. They really loved her. His family was really important to me. And yeah, when my grandpa pretty much said, well, I found my doctor, and he put his arm around her, I just kind of knew right then and there that she was the one.
Everything's right tonight. Everything's right.
We had obviously talked about getting engaged.
I had everything planned out. I did it at her clinic, so I was talking to a bunch of her coworkers and getting it set up.
I go to work on Friday and it's my half day, so I usually get off at noon. My last patient of the morning canceled, and so I was like, oh great, I get to leave early, this is gonna be awesome.
She actually texted me 30 minutes before she was gonna get off, so she was done for the day.
Then my office manager comes like busting in my door and she's like, Laurel, she's like, my manager's here and just wants to talk to all the providers. I'm like, I want to leave. Like, it's my half day. That is literally the last person I want to talk to right now. And I kind of like threw a little bit of a tantrum.
Your coworker said, oh yeah, she'll be in 15 minutes. So I'm just standing there just sweating. I wanted it to be perfect, and I was sweating down to my hips.
So I walk in there with like this big fake smile on, like to say hi to this manager.
She knocks, she comes in, she thinks it's a joke.
I see these rose petals on the floor and like balloons, and I was so confused.
She goes, oh my God, what are you doing here? I'm kind of like, what? Thrown off, and I kind of move, and I have these balloons that says, marry me, and she's like, oh my God. I grabbed her and brought her to me, and I forgot every word I was gonna say, just dropped to a knee.
It was the best way. I was so surprised.
Never believed in perfect timing. I don't know how, but I just know now that I do.
I hope I know how to spell it. I should probably write it bigger.
But it has to be pretty big, huh?
One word I would use to describe Cam is ambitious. He works so hard every day. Then he comes home and makes sure that I know how loved I am. And he's just very ambitious with our relationship as well, making sure I'm happy. And I'm so proud of him, and I love that about him so much.
I'm not sure if it's one word, but it's life changing. You've changed my life from day one, changed me to be a better person each and every day. And I can't thank you enough for that.
As a couple, I would say we are complete.
I think we're better together than we are apart. We're stronger, have more fun.
Definitely.
I've seen lightning strike 1,000 times, but you took me by surprise. I never believed in perfect time, and I don't know how, but I just know now that I do.
Cam, you are hands down the best thing that has ever happened to me. I'm so proud of everything that you do every single day, and I am so happy that I'm finally your wife. I love you so much.
Laurel, you have changed me in so many ways for the better. You have pushed me to become and to be a better person each and every day. And I can't thank you enough for trusting me with your heart and trusting me to become the great husband I'm going to be. And I just wanted to say thank you, and I love you.
You are the real thing, the novel before the film, all the nuance, every letter. Things to me like they have never been done. A love like ours could last forever and ever. When I'm down, me up. When I'm dry, my cup. No one else. My love, no one. My love. I would choose you over and over. I would choose you over and over. I would choose you over and over. Again, and I still can't hold a candle to the way you say I love you. You don't have to say a single word. How's a heart like yours hold our world together? And always find a way to love me first. You built the man, built the house, made the house a home, turned days and years to solid gold. You don't need to sing like a choir of saints. You don't need to ride like one of the plays. You don't need to dance like David danced. If you just love me like only you can, would you love me like only you can? Wish you could see yourself right now from where I'm standing. One look would change your life like it changed mine. It's not about how perfect we can make the picture. It's how you make the picture perfect without trying. You don't need to sing like a choir of saints. You don't need to ride like one of the plays. You don't need to dance like David danced. If you just love me like only you can.
I, Cameron, take you, Laurel,
To be my wife,
to be my wife,
I, Laurel, take you, Cameron,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to live with you,
from this day on,
whether there are good days
or bad,
or bad.
whether we're in sickness
or health.
or health,
I give you my love
and loyalty.
until parted by death.
This is my promise to you.
This is my promise to you.
Don't need to sing like